سيدنا محمد نبيك عدد ما خلقته من قبل أن تكون
Resul-i Ekrem ve Nebi Muhterem sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem Efendimiz Hazretlerinin nafiz kalbine ve mutahhar ruh şeriflerine servat şerifi getirenlerin ahir ve akıbetlere hayrola. Âl ezvacı, tahviret evladı Resul-i Eshab bizim efendilerimizin Sair Enbiya-i Zem ve Resulü Fiyahan Hazıratın ervah şeriflerine Pirimiz Bilal Habeşi radıyallahu anh Efendimizin Şeyhimiz sahibi Seyş Abdülkerim el-Kıbrıs Rabbani Hazretlerinin ve aleyhusus bu caminin bahanesi ve bugüne kadar içerisinden gelmiş geçmiş imam mezzin kaynlarının ve kahve ehli imanın ervahı için Allah rızası için El Fatiha. Euzubillahimineşşeytanirracim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. İnnallâhe ve melâiketehu yusallûne alen-nebi. Ya eyyühellezîne âmenû sallû aleyhi ve sellimû teslîmâ. Allahümme salli alâ seyyidina Muhammedin ve alâ seyyidina Muhammed. Allahu Ekber, Allahu Ekber. Allahu Ekber, Allahu Ekber. Eşhedü en la ilahe illallah. Eşhedü en la ilahe illallah. Eşhedü enne Muhammeden Resulullah. Eşhedü enne Muhammeden Resulullah. Hayya ale's-salâh. Hayya ale's-salâh. Hayya alel-felâh. Hayya alel-felâh. Allahu Ekber, Allahu Ekber. La ilahe illallah.
Elhamdülillah, elhamdülillah, elhamdülillahi Rabbil alemin, ve salatu ve selamu ala Resulina Muhammedin ve ala alihi ve sahbihi ecmain. Nahmadullah Teala ve nestağfiruhu ve şeru en la ilahe illallah vahdehu la şerike leh. Eşhedü enne seyyidina Muhammeden abduhu ve habibuhu ve resuluhu. Sallallahu aleyhi ve ala alihi ve ezvacihi ve sahabi tabi khulafe'ir raşidin mahdin min ba'di. Ve selameti ala tahkik, hususen min alameti khulafe Resul ala tahkik Umar el-Mu'minin, Hazreti Ebu Bakr, Umar, Osman ve Ali, ve ala bakir sahabe tabi'in, ridvanullah Teala aleyhim ecmain. Ya eyyuhel mu'minul hazirun, ittakullah Teala, ve te'innallaha mellezine, vellezine hum muhsinun. Elhamdülillahi Rabbil alemin. Ve salatu ve selamu ala eşrefil enbiya mursalin, Seyyidina Mevlana Muhammedin, ve ala alihi ve sahbihi ecmain. All praises are due to Allah, Lord of the universes. All praises are due to Allah, who is the first, the last, the manifest, the hidden, the one who has might and power over all things. All praises are due to Allah, who sent His Habib, Sayyidina Muhammad ﷺ, as the mercy to the universes and the guide to the straight path. May all peace and blessings be upon the Sultan of creation, the Imam of the messengers, the seal of prophethood, the master of the first and the last, the grandfather of Hassan and Hussein, Sayyidina Muhammad ﷺ, and upon his noble family and blessed companions, especially upon the four Khulafa Rashidin, Hazreti Abu Bakr Siddiq, Hazreti Umar Farooq, Hazreti Osman al-Ghani, and Hazreti Ali al-Murtaza, and all those who follow them until the last day. Ya ayyuhal mu'minun, O believers, the heart, it is the throne of Allah. For believers, to keep our hearts clean is the only work that we should be doing. Because only the clean heart is acceptable to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He is saying in the Holy Quran about the day of judgment, Jalla wa'ala, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, the day when neither wealth nor sons will benefit except for him who comes to Allah with qalb salim, with a pure heart. Sadaqallahu al-Azim. Sultan al-Awliya Shaykh Maulana Muhammad Nazim Adil Haqqani Qaddasallahu Sir is opening the ayat further, saying, on the day of resurrection, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not going to ask you what you brought of money or of sons or of property or of ranks. No. Where is your heart? With which heart have you come to me? The purified heart, the golden heart. Where is it? Give it to me. That was what I was asking from you during your life. That is the main thing which is asked of everyone. Keep your heart pure and excellent and bring it to me. So the heart is for Allah, and the heart must be kept pure. But there are certain characteristics that corrupt the heart and make it dirty. Instead of becoming a pure heart for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it becomes the wasteland of shaitan. Our Shaykh Sahibul Saif, Shaykh Abdul Karim al-Kabrisi Rabbani Qaddasallahu Sir, is saying, if a man is proud, then the fire is going to touch that one. Then it's impossible for a man to escape, because all this life is given to us to get rid of the wrong characteristics of our ego and to turn those wrong characteristics into good characteristics, to be servants. And the servant has no right to be proud. The servant, Allah, is the creator, and you are a creature. The creature has no right to be proud. Proudness is not accepted. Proudness is making man to fall to the lowest place, the lowest of the lowest. So Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying, if you are carrying any one of these 4 characteristics, no intercession, no shafa'at will be given to you. There cannot be shafa'at for them. And if there is no shafa'at, then the person is entering into the fire. The first one of the 4 characteristics is anger. Who was the first angry one? The first one who got angry, who was that one? Shaitan. He got angry in the divine presence to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The anger is the last station of a man, of a creature that is existing, saying, I am existing, you are not, I am. That's what ego says. You are there, and I am here. And Allah is saying, curse to that ego. Put him to the fire. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created Adam alayhi salam, as soon as he looked at Adam, he looked at Maqam al-Mahmud, saying, this just fits to him. Shaitan is saying about Adam alayhi salam, this just fits to him. The throne is just for him, not for me. He knew the knowledge right away. So he said, all this time I've been worshipping with the aim of winning this, and now it's coming to 0 for this one. He was keeping hasad. He was jealous of Adam alayhi salam. Because he was jealous and proud, he was angry. Proudness and jealousy made him to become angry, and he committed the wrongdoing. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, make sajda. He says, no. Allah said, no. And then he became stubborn. So now the stubbornness, anyone who is stubborn, there are the 4 characteristics of shaitan. If a man is carrying these 4, then he has inherited 4 secrets from shaitan. His appearance is of human, but his actions and everything is shaitanic. They are proudness, anger, stubbornness, envy, jealousy. Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying, there is no shafa'at for these 4 characteristics. And he said that every man in their nature, in the way they are born, they have them. Those are the characteristics of the ego. And you have to work on it. You have to pound on it. You have to knock it down to finish it. Otherwise, that overtakes you. And when that overtakes you, under the name of worshipping Allah, you are worshipping your ego. And the words of the friends of Allah speak the truth. Shaykh Effendi is choosing his words very carefully. He is saying that those 4 wrong characteristics overtake us. Then we will think we are worshipping to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But in fact, we are worshipping to our ego. What is worship of the ego? Other than a hidden shirk. Holy Prophet ﷺ said, should I not inform you of that which I fear for you, even more than the dangers of Dajjal? It is the hidden shirk. A person stands to pray and he beautifies his prayer because he sees the people looking at him. That man becomes proud. That man looks to please himself. That man is not looking in fear and in awe of Allah and to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Hidden shirk is dangerous because it destroys a person's heart. And the heart is the one organ in the body, the one thing that the Prophet is saying, if it is sick, the whole body is sick. And if it is not, if it is healthy, the whole body is healthy. Tariqat is concentrating on that. Tasawwuf is concentrating on the heart. The hidden shirk, once it is hidden, and if you don't know that it is there, and it stays there, it becomes very dangerous. It keeps a man out from the pleasure of Allah. It takes away the title of servant of Allah and turns a man into slave of the ego, the slave of shaitan. Shaykh Maulana is giving heavy warning about this hidden shirk, saying, Allah is very angry. And more than this, He is angry with people who not only make shaitan a partner, but who say, no God but Iblis. Mankind now is in a very dangerous position. For both ways, they must be taken away, because mankind is through 2 groups. One group makes shaitan a partner to Allah. The other group says, no God but shaitan. And as long as they are on that way, people must be destroyed, taken away. The majority of people follow shaitan. Some say he is our Lord. Some others say we believe in God, but they follow shaitan, making him partner to Allah. Hearing and obeying to him, not to Allah. The ego belongs to shaitan. And Allah never forgives those people who make shaitan partner or their Lord. Look whom you are following, after whom you are going. If it is a shaitanic work, you must quickly leave it and come back. It means you lost your way. You are on wrong way, and you must correct it. For every activity, you must ask, is this for my ego or for Allah? Who is going to be happy with this activity? If you know that your ego is going to be happy, it means you are keeping a partner. Your ego, the ego is saying, I am your Lord. On behalf of your Lord, I am your Lord. The nafs, the ego, is saying, you must obey me. And what our physical being tastes from enjoyment, it is very short and a very small amount. Cheating people, and they're asking to follow shaitan. That is the reason. And shaitan will reject all those who followed him. Shaitan will reject all those who followed him on the day of judgment. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has already told us what is going to happen. What is going to happen in the future on the day of judgment. Shaitan is going to say, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Quran al-Karim is saying, indeed, Allah had promised you the promise of truth. And I promised you, but I betrayed you. but I had no authority over you, except that I called you, and you responded to me. So don't blame me, but blame yourselves. I cannot be called to help you, nor can you come to help me. Indeed, I deny your association of me with Allah from before. Indeed, for the zalims, there is a painful punishment. Sadaqallah al-Azim. And in this ayat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is putting the words, His words, to Shaitan's mouth. And those who follow Shaitan, they are on the same level as Fir'aun and Namrud. They are tyrants. And the tyrants have a very painful ending. So we have a choice. Allah is giving us a will. We can accept the inheritance of Shaitan and let anger and stubbornness, pride and jealousy to corrupt our hearts and become the slaves of Shaitan, or we can follow those who are the inheritors of the Prophet, who are representing the Prophet, who are following Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who are on the right path, who are going to show us the way of haqq and who will help us on the day of judgment. Why not follow yourself? Why not for the modern man who says, I can read, I can think, I have access to Google. Why can't I follow myself and lead myself to safety? This is not the protocol of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If He had wanted that, He would never have sent any prophet, any righteous person, anyone to guide. He did not. His divine protocol is always to send His representatives, and that continues until the day of judgment. Sahib al-Saif is saying, Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying, remove everything that you have built in your heart. La ilaha illallah. Remove all things that you have built in your heart except Allah, illallah. And all that man is preparing, running and making all these planning and games, thinking about Allah, it is only imaginary. Allah that you are building for yourself, it is only an imaginary Allah that you are building for yourself. You cannot reach to that station. In order for you to reach to that station, you need the prophetic secret to reach there, to understand. Otherwise, you are building in your own self, in your own mind, different kinds of gods about which is said, there is no God but Allah. La ilaha illallah. Remove all the gods. Because people at the time were building all kinds of gods, different kinds of ways that they were worshipping. Not only small idols, but they were worshipping to different things. So unless the love of Allah and the love of His Prophet is stronger in our hearts, unless the love of Allah and the love of the Prophet is stronger in our hearts, we cannot get rid of it. And the only way we can get rid of it is we have to have somebody showing us the way. We cannot just sit and say, I know already. Allah is teaching us through the prophets. Who are we and who is He? Not only who are we, but also who is He? Who is Allah? The prophets came to teach us two things. One, to teach us who are we, and then to teach us who is our Lord. This is from the hadith of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. Whoever knows himself knows his Lord. Nobody in this whole world can teach this knowledge except for the awliya Allah, not the scholars, not the preachers, not the reciters. This is the knowledge that has been passed from heart to heart, from Rasulullah ﷺ to Sahabi Kiram, all the way down to the sheikhs. Shaykh Maulana is saying, man doesn't know his Lord before he knows himself. Man doesn't know his Lord before he knows himself. Know yourself. but we don't know ourselves yet. How can we know our Lord? The path which leads to ma'rifat lies in your knowledge of yourself. Allah Almighty opened for you such a door. You can understand through it, through the azamat and kibriya of Allah Zul Jalal. And His azamat and kibriya is beyond intellect and understanding. The Shaykh, he is a mirror. As Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying, the believer is a mirror to another believer. The friends of Allah, they have reached to real belief. They are the believers. Being with them, we will learn how to fight our ego. We will learn how to acquire adab. We will learn how to follow the sunnah. We will learn how to put Allah and His Prophet before anything else. And for that love to overtake our hearts. O believers, never forget the goal. Never forget why we are following Islam. Never forget why we are praying and fasting and making zikr. There is a goal. Never forget that, inshallah. Sahib al-Sayf is saying, but again, the aim is what? Isn't the aim to get the reza of Allah, to get the pleasure of Allah, to make Allah to be pleased with us? Isn't that the aim? For Allah to be happy with us and for us to be happy with Allah. All that prayers and everything we are doing, isn't that what to bring us to? The reza of Allah. How do you say reza? In English, acceptance. For Allah to accept, saying, this is my servant. I like this one. In the normal street talk, let's say, I like this one. For Allah to point to His angels and to the other ones, saying, this one I like. That's it. Finished. May we hear that word from our Lord, inshallah. Ameen. Astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah lazim la ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum. La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu lahul mulku wa hamdu kulli shay'in qadir. La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu lahul mulku wa hamdu kulli shay'in qadir. La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu lahul mulku wa hamdu. La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu minaz zalimin. La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu minaz zalimin. La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu minaz zalimin. Subhan qudusun rabbana rabbul malaikati wa ruh. Subhan qudusun rabbana rabbul malaikati wa ruh. Subhan qudusun rabbana. Inna dina inda Allah al-Islam. Qam salah. Bismillah.
Allahu Ekber, Allahu Ekber, Allahu Ekber, Allahu Ekber. Eşhedü en la ilahe illallah, eşhedü en la ilahe illallah. Eşhedü enne Muhammeden Resulullah, eşhedü enne Muhammeden Resulullah. Hayya alel-selah, hayya alel-selah, hayya alel-felah, hayya alel-felah. Qad iqamet selah, qad iqamet selah. Allahu Ekber, la ilahe illallah.
Sayyidina Mawlana